Greetings, sending you all some warm, positive vibrations. This is Body Culinary, and I thought I would come in just to share what I'm doing to moisturize my hair, my very fine, kinky, cottony, Afro textured hair. So I don't prefer oil. I don't prefer any products. Really, I really like ease. And for my lifestyle, I've already been up like super early, right? So training at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then as soon as I'm done with that, sometimes I may have one of my training buddies, but I may have a part two to a movement practice. Then I go directly out into the garden for several hours. So I may have take several showers, and then I'm going from sweat to the garden with garden soil toes and a garden manicure. Um, Maybe have another quick shower and then go out. So for my lifestyle, ease is important. Ease is very, very important. As someone that has had a tremendous amount of acne, and someone that used to be a junk food junkie and has a family history and eating pattern, consumption pattern that leads to obesity, morbid obesity, and all the accompanying comorbidities, the disease that run in packs. I'm very intentional about what I put into my body. And I don't want to have a whole pile of acne, right? Because I know it came from different things I was doing in my lifestyle. So I have found for me a lot of oil and grease contributes, and sweat contributes to a lot of acne. And I do mention the different foods because I love whole living foods and unprocessed foods as a lifestyle. I mentioned the foods that I put primarily first in my body and then also on my hair and skin and natural beauty products, right? Which you can find on Body Culinary. Okay, so I just pulled some aloe out of the yard. I still have nopales, so I didn't use the nopales today. I just used the aloe. I have some left because I just thought I'd spontaneously turn on the camera. I have an old uh, soy sauce jar. I love cute little containers and I like to recycle. So I just stored it in here. So this is just the aloe. So I took 3 aloe leaves and I have hundreds of aloe growing inside the yard. So all about that Afro flower nomics, right? Really luxuriating with the things that you're growing in your little garden. So this is just the aloe. So this is not gel now. I've made this into aloe juice. And I remember at the food co-op, shout out to my food co-op, there, and also at the health food stores, aloe juice can be very, very expensive. Depending on how you're preparing it, you can make it into a gel or you can make it into a juice. So distinction, the aloe gel, it feels fantastic when it's gliding on, though if you have a lot of that that mucilage, when it dries, it can make you look like you've got like dandruff or flakes inside your hair. So I think it's totally harmless. Been cutting my hair numerous times, so I'm slowly cutting away where these were the initial locks that were fluffy double strand twists. So if you have fine hair, when it gets compact, this is what it can look like. So they're about 30 now because I'm letting one more combine, and it's super hot here. So this is the one. This is about 4 weeks. I don't know if you can see. This is 4 weeks now, and this is what it's looking like. So this is a very loose cloth hair holder instead of a rubber band, and this is just me leaving it, rinsing it with water. So it's about 4 weeks, right? And it's combining on its own, so I'm not twisting or anything. So for moisture, I want oil-free moisture. I will drink some of the aloe juice. I will put some on my face because that feels really good. I know that's good for my skin and for my pores. That's the other reason why I like to be makeup free, because I put a lot of food on my face. I really do, and I know the bitters are good. I found years ago when I bought aloe juice from the store, in addition to it being costly, but that might be a trade-off if your time is very, very tight. Though I have found with whole living foods, there's so much uh, that you may not be able to see with your eye. So the bitterness, I think, is very, very important. I consider greens and bitters a whole food group. So I have a whole bottle here, and this can last me for a little while. The other day, I used the fenugreek gel, so we will be preparing at some point. But today, I decided to do the aloe juice. And now, I know it was my vision to luxuriate with everything I'm growing in the garden. Now I've got hundreds and hundreds of aloe, but I started from a little, they're called pups, from a little piece of aloe. So let me know if you want to see the aloe part of the garden. So it doesn't have as much mucilage, right? Because I broke that down when I blended it. Again, if I use the plant milk bag, right? If I use the plant milk bag and I don't blend it at all, so here's one of my plant milk bags. If I use the plant milk bag and I don't blend it and I just squeeze it through, then I can get a lot of mucilage. So now the difference between this and water, and shout out to Yanni the lochologist. I love Yanni. She's spicy and she's full of common sense. So I'm somebody with very, very fine hair. So she said a lot not to put water on your hair. So many people say different things, but I like her because she's really about the growth of healthy hair. So she recommends not putting water because the chemistry of it is different. And I know she says spray a lot of water on my hair. I will always use the best of what I have available to me. Though I have to say, I do see a difference with using the aloe juice as a water instead of water from the tap. Even if it is, I have a filter, even if it is filtered water. So I noticed like my hair it's a little bit soft, will start to curl up. So I know that's because of the pH balance of the aloe juice, right? So water may all look the same to the eye, but chemically they're all different. So I'd have to say Yanni is correct. So I was determined. I do have a rose bush outside. I've been nurturing. It's a little dry. It looks like it needs some fertilizer. But I am of the mindset to experience growing everything that I want. So if I want rose water, I'm going to grow my own rose water, and everybody can grow something. So I had just put the aloe on my hair because of my hair porosity. Liquids can have a tendency to sit right on top of my hair. So I just took a nice, so I just put more. You can see that the aloe juice, it's not gel, sits right on top of the hair, right? So I'll have to really smooth it into my hair. So because my hair is fine, it doesn't like to be handled a lot. I just had it in 2 loose braids, and I used to wear my 2 infamous ponytails, which I like, but because all of my hair is flat, this might give you some tips if you want to go this route. Because they're wider now, I want to be very conscientious of not using those old click clacks with the 2 balls at the end, because they can really cut into my hair. All of my locks are flat and can really change the shape. So I've embraced having flat locks, though putting really sharp rubber bands, I'm in the sun a lot. I've had rubber bands, the little teeny ones that we put on the edge of the braids with the beads. I've had them melt into my hair when I used to use oil. So many reasons why I have ex-nayed on the oil for a while. And so this is very carefree. So I can smooth it into my hair. My hair does not like to be handled a lot, brush, combs. I'm not doing any twisting. And the shampoo, the one gentle shampoo that I use, I don't even use that as frequently because I use the nopales, I use the cucumber, I use the aloe. I'm using I still have some dried lavender that I pulled from the garden. Oh my gosh, this is it. Oh, this smells so divine. So I just feel like what I'm growing from the garden, it's fresh. And I feel like it tops anything that I could get out of the store. And plus it's the whole experience. I find it very stress relieving. So you see, I'm smoothing it down into my hair, right? Being that there's no oil, and I've said this before, which is interesting. Now everybody will have their own experience. This is the best my scalp has ever felt. So I don't feel, my scalp is not dry. I get 0 dandruff, like 0, none. It's like my skin just feels normalized. Now, when I used to get cornrows, I went to the best. When I say the best, shout out to New Wave Cultural Creations in Brooklyn, New York. I went to the best braiders in the business. No pain, no pulling, natural products, the ambiance, the skill. They're top of the line, the best. Trained by Talani Kennard, if y'all know the book No Lie. But anyway, no matter how much I paid, when my hair was cornrowed and the scalp was exposed, I found that within a matter of days, my scalp would itch profusely. I've done it several times, and I had to take out these expensive hairstyles. The style looked fantastic, but it didn't last because I just could not take the itching. So there's something about my scalp being exposed in conjunction with the pulling, and it wasn't too tight because I don't do the too tight. I'm not doing the damage and the pain, not over here. Not doing that. But something about exposing my scalp like that, I've experienced it too many times. It just had my scalp itching. Now, when I embraced two strand twists, plus because I wasn't the best corn grower, right? Actually, the double strand twists were easier. So that's initially how I started my locks. I don't know if I would do, would I do double strand twists again? I think I would. I would do them very, very loose because embracing the fro at the base, I have found has been the greatest blessing for my hair and my skin. Like most of the styles, as I've said before in some videos in this channel, pretty much almost everything I've ever tried, it's like it just somehow doesn't look right. But then these kind of mistaken hairstyles, for example, like I love when I see sometimes it looks nice when you see women, they have it pulled back and it's slick and they put a little gel, but somehow it just doesn't feel good to my hair. My hair doesn't like to be weighed down. I don't need the build up. Plus, I'm into the sustainability. It's not sustainable, and I'm not with. I got rid of all those products. I got rid of my shower caddy, and it's not coming back. That's the area where I want to definitely be minimalist. So, yeah, I'm not putting all that stuff into my hair. So sometimes we might feel like the hair is looking dry, ugly, and I do want to make a distinction between dry and not wet and dry and brittle. Although the texture of the hair is cottony and coarse, that doesn't necessarily mean it's dried out brittle, if that makes sense. So I find like my hair feels very normalized. It's rare that my hair will get crispy. Too much washing and overwashing can definitely make your hair crispy. In addition, definitely, I would have to say, years ago, I tried out some of the cheaper shampoos, like those VO5s, their natural line. That stuff will strip the heck out of your hair, especially if you have very, very fine hair. It's already delicate, doesn't like to be handled, pulled, tugged. It just can't take a lot. But when I tell you, I'm even letting my part grow out, right? So it can grow full. So I'm just embracing the afro in the spring. So my hair could look dry because of the texture of it. This is the color of it. It has like a brownish tint. I intend to embrace my grays when they come in, but this hair is just doing what it does. So what I can say between the fenugreek that I used before and the aloe juice, do I have any more in here? I still have a little bit. It just feels nice and there's no weight. So it feels like, you hear people say water-based product. How can we get more of a water-based product? I don't even know if we can call this a product. This is just, the gifts from the plants, plant water that I'm getting from the plants. So all I'm doing is pouring the aloe juice into my hand. I'm rubbing it together so it's a little slick, but it's not a lot of mucilage because, again, this is how I blended it and strained it. And that's what I'm doing. So that's an alternative to putting tap water in your hair. Now, there was a period that I did water only washing. Now I'm using teas from the garden. And I talk about that in several videos on this channel. Everything from the garden, black teas, mostly lavender. Now I have my own lavender. Yay! Rosemary. I have neem in the garden. I have the aloe. I have the nopales. There's like several other herbs that are in here. And I plan on planting more. So the hair is lightweight. Hey, greetings. It's lightweight and it's fluffy. Again, this is a benefit and could be really freeing. I would say that's why I call this freedom hair, and it's Afrolocs. So anybody can work their hair however they would like to. However, this is a unique DNA in nature doctrine of signature, right? It's a unique DNA marker. And I have a type of hair that wouldn't really take with the perm. So I wind up getting a whole head full of scalp burns. I've mentioned that on this channel. I have zero interest in torturing myself. I want to embrace aging. I want my body to be healthy and free of growths and tumors and cysts. So for me, I can appreciate all different kinds of looks and makeup. However, my lifestyle is my priority. Ease, mental, emotional relaxation, being comfortable in my skin, and focusing more on relaxation and health And I think we're all at our most attractive when we're healthy. So what are you saying, Candace? Says, I've been brewing rosemary and clove. Yes, I'm using clove and mixing that tea with aloe juice in a spray bottle. My locks are also fluffy and light. There you go. That's what's up. So, and when I think about the gazillion dollar industry, and as someone that's traveled quite a bit, I'm always looking to see how women that look like me, other women, but in particular, I'm looking to see my reflection, how women are faring in the world. And it's disheartening to see, when some Afro women are struggling, especially at a younger age, are struggling economically in different parts of the world. We'll take some of our last hard-earned money and it goes to fast fashion, um, wigs, makeup. And again, it's not so much the things themselves, but what it represents for us, right? And this is just one woman's perspective, not necessarily the truth, just one woman's perspective and based on my own experience. So as much as we might say, oh, I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm confident, right? And we say, we love ourselves, we love ourselves, we love ourselves. Well, I like litmus tests, right? Because you can't always believe what other people say. We can't always believe what we say out of our mouths, what we have a tendency to parrot, right? We are creatures that mimic. We just do. So if there's an undertone, right? And if we look at, how can I make this quick and simple? If we look at our tendency to put ourselves in harm's way, right? It's not just what we say as humans, it's about our behavior. So compromising or putting ourselves, our physical health, our reproductive organs, putting ourselves in a line of fire, making ourselves accessible to people that are abusive. That says a lot. We can say the word love, but how we really feel about ourselves by what we tolerate, right? So the lack of confidence, which is not a crime. It's not a crime. Though only we in our quiet moments. No, I'm not a debater on social media. I got other things to do with my time. However, this might be, this is a great option, the original option. This is a great option for those that may want to prioritize ease and relaxation, mental and emotional stability, right? Being able to neutralize all that anxiety around I got to get another product, like was on automatic pilot, like a reflex. If I don't get the latest product and you already got 20 underneath your sink that are more than half full, but that tendency, that reflex to buy more, and still we're not satisfied, right? We're altering our bodies more. And if you look on YouTube, there's increasingly women, not in the majority, but there's some women that are really expressing truthfully and making themselves vulnerable to say, I'm more insecure than ever. Just altering myself physically and sometimes permanently, it didn't give me what it was supposed to give. What's the saying now that I hear folks? It didn't give what it's supposed to give. So, it's really something to to be comfortable first and really accept the body that you have and a personal commitment to keep it the healthiest you can, to be protective of your psyche and your reproductive organs. When I say psyche, understanding that the climate on these little screens is to just, even though we see smiling faces on the advertisements, to sell us products. So the undertone and the psychological feeling, the anxiety from, I'm not enough if I don't have this perfume. I'm not enough if I don't have more stuff, right? Many of us are living in these expensive storage boxes with a bunch of stuff, just with our curated collection of clothes. And I can tell you, I spent so much money on clothes. That was land, that was travel. I'd take the experiences because most of those things went in the garbage, right? And so I even found it a bit suffocating to have so much stuff. So this is one area you'll find your own sweet spot. I'm just sharing my experience. I'm prioritizing health and confidence over someone's made up, ever moving, ever changing, random, fickle goalposts of so-called beauty, right? I think I know I deserve to feel comfortable in my own hair and skin. When it is white, if it is thinner, with my big eyes, my wide apicoid nose, my lips, if I get a corn, if I get stretch marks, I am very intentional about feeling comfortable in my skin. I've done fitness competitions. I work as, if you don't know, I'm a personal chef specializing in whole, fresh, living, and unprocessed foods, and a personal trainer and a fitness coach for many years. So I've been around some of the best bodies. I've been ripped, with lots of muscle. Though I can tell you, in the backstage of coming off stage of fitness competitions, to see a woman put a cigarette in her mouth, or the things that come out of people's mouths, or the things that people will take just for the validation, external validation, it's mind blowing. So that says something about us as a species. So I'm not here to tell folks, grown folks, what to do. You'll have to have your own experience. I'm just sharing a little speck of mine. So you can see the aloe that I spread on my hair now. It was sitting right on top of the hair. Now, all I did was smooth it. I didn't brush it or anything. And it feels, it has a nice feel. So if you felt like your hair was dry and you're thinking, well, if I don't put oil in my hair, what the heck is that going to look like, right? Oil can help slick and mold and hold things in place. That's not really what I'm doing here. I'm embracing what my texture does. And that can be uncharted territory. That could even be a source of anxiety for folks, right? So it's really something to sit with your internal dialogue, right? And to notice and let it bubble to the surface. For example, you could possibly hear yourself saying, "Ooh, that's ugly." And it's like, ooh, your own thoughts, your own internal dialogue, like, "Ooh, that doesn't look right." In comparison to what? In comparison to what? So this is why I say so many hairstyles that I've tried, they just did not fit my hair. I don't often see it represented, right? With only 30 locks, sometimes I find these like what do you call it? Like messy buns. I find the messy, unstructured buns look the best for my hair, right? So if I was to keep pulling it back like this, I'm going to compromise. I won't have a hairline. I won't have a hairline. So I'm not doing it. I want to preserve my own. I want to enjoy my own eyebrows and my own eyelashes. I am known to put shea butter on my eyelashes and my eyebrows. That's one of the little secrets. So I really appreciate being able to go from working out to the garden, maybe another movement session, jumping on my bicycle, going to the market, throwing things on my handlebars. I really prioritize an active lifestyle because it's the best kept secret. It feels freaking fantastic. I wish more women knew an active lifestyle. Your movement practice, your personal movement practice. The 3 lifestyle practices I encourage on this channel: peaceful consumption, food that loves you back. And you can measure that with your elimination, your skin, your vitality, your tone, your body composition. You can measure that, right? Peaceful consumption, garden therapy, deeply therapeutic. I can't say enough about starting a garden. Wherever you're paying rent, wherever you're paying mortgage, right? So you have your personal movement practice, peaceful consumption, and garden therapy. These are leverage lifestyle activities that give you something back for the investment of your time. Yeah, I'm loving vintage stuff more than ever. I am prioritizing, and I have for some years now, the garden, rolling on the floor, taking a pole class, double dutch, roller skating, working out, capoeira, African dance, joyous activities, right? These are things that you have access to. It's the best kept secret. I'm just saying. By the way, y'all, welcome to join me in the mornings at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when we have the Body-Culinary signature workout, Harriet Squats. Shout out if you know who Harriet is, right? She's a perfect icon for a squat in terms of tenacity and resilience. Every Sunday, there's group coaching if you're really looking to upgrade your lifestyle with whole, fresh living, unprocessed foods, not a diet, and movement as your lifestyle. So if you want some accountability and to cut the guesswork out and really want to know what's missing, whatever label you want to call yourself, that's your beeswax. But it's just about the results. Grab your stomach and midsection. If you got have a whole lot of adipose tissue, then it's not just about vanity. Having lots of visceral fat, kind of like if you think of chopped meat. If you have a lot of visceral fat wrapped around your organs, that's actually very, very dangerous. If your midsection, and this is not about us being curvy and not liking your curvy shape, right? But this is just in terms of having some markers for health and thinking, what do you need your body to do for you the next 20, 30 years down the line? You want it to perform. You want to be able to move pain-free, right? So hygiene is also what we're putting into our body. So in any event, coaching is every Sunday at 2 p.m. There is a paid portion of coaching if you're interested in that. And there's also Flower Fit Community if you're interested in sharing you're starting a garden or what you're doing with your fitness with whole, fresh, living foods. I concentrate on foods of the garden, though you'll have to do whatever you need to do to find your sweet spot. It's a journey. I used to be a junk food junkie with a gold tooth and a Jerry curl. So you're on your journey. It's not really, I don't know how much it benefits us to judge other people, because what does that have to do with me? It's a journey, and you may try numerous things on for size as you move towards finding what your sweet spot is. That's with your movement practice. That's with your consumption patterns, right? You can really free yourself up from all of these labels. If you have a lot of acne, as I have had, or if you just want to be freed up of all of this stuff, I would say, yes, I prefer minimalism. Again, I'm not necessarily anti-makeup, though I'm prioritizing my health. I'm not interested in compromising my health. And that also includes my emotional, mental stability for some products, right? To have short-lived presentation for other people, but then I don't have my health. That's no bueno. That's not going to work. So there's Natural Beauty, no products. You can find that on Body-Culinary.com. There's a video on this channel that is the Afrolocs. That's what I'm calling these. Afrolocs, the Freedom Hair Regimen. So you can check in if you have endeavored to let go of a whole bunch of products. And whether you use oil or not oil, whatever works for you and gives you results, right? I've experimented. I'm an avid experimenter, unapologetically. That's how you're going to find what your sweet spot is. And that's how you can get really clear. I just want to make sure you keep yourself safe. So most foods are pretty safe unless you have an allergy. So over here in this little corner of the internet, I'd say natural bodies matter, and I deserve to feel comfortable in my own hair and skin at any age, whether you're single, whether you have children or not. My health, my physical health, my mental and my emotional health is priority number one. No compromise, no discussion. That's the standard. So let me know in the comments, what kind of standards have you set for yourself? Before I hop off, feel free to check out Whole Living Foods in the Hood with menus to fit your budget. There are sample shops. So whether you have $5, $20, $50, $200, if you're going to the food co-op, if you're going to the farmer's market, if you're going to the wholesaler, if you're endeavoring to eat whole, fresh, unprocessed foods, what do you do with all this produce, right? Some people will let a lot of the produce sit in the refrigerator and go to waste. And this is not the time to be not capitalizing off of your investment of your time it took to go shop for the food, if you made that decision to get fresh food, storing it, paying for the refrigerator, paying for all this food and not using it, right? So maybe perhaps you could use some support and a little bit of education in terms of, what do I do with all this food? Because there's so many things that you can't eat whole and living. I remember years ago, I didn't know that. So it's been well over 10 years on this particular journey of the lifestyle, though I started in 1990 or 91, started my journey. So it's been a good long journey. What's your question? Do you have a recommendation for what a beginner can start growing in colder climates? There's going to be a workshop coming up over the holidays, and it's something that I've been working on for a while called Afroflowernomics, right? As a lifestyle. It's a lot built into the garden, and I started in a colder climate. Actually, there's a series on this channel, a puppet series called Sister Butterfly and Sister Monkey Learn to Eat Better. So if you scroll down in the community section, you'll see one of the videos, but that's a little short series. I can't tell someone legally to start in a fire escape. So you want to be safe. Though I started out in a very cold climate. So for some reason, I've just always had this thing in my head. Nobody's going to tell me I can't grow food. I think it comes from my grandma Lou. So I was like, nobody's going to tell me I can't grow food. So I've done all kinds of experiments. I belong to a gardening group. Shout out to the Village House Gardeners in BK. I remember one week we were researching people around the world, what they were doing with gardening. And there's some people in parts of the world that don't have a lot of sunlight, and they're doing so much creatively with gardening. So if you really want to do something, you can find ways to grow things. So I'm going to be making some specific recommendations, and from the context of, it's not just about growing things, it's about growing like we're doing with the aloe, right? And the nettles, growing exactly what you need, and growing, being able to really maximize what you're growing. I mean, there's some things I want to grow for beauty, right? I think all of us should have some flowers, right, to go look at, and some of them that have medicinal and nutritional properties, right? It's also very healing to see all of those colors. But there are definitely some things you would be amazed that you can grow in pots. So if you go into the About section, somewhere in this channel, you should see the application for Flower Fit Coaching and Community. And you can see what some of the other flowers are growing. So that kind of support, I think, is really, really helpful. So there are several things. Feel free to check out Flower Fit Coaching and Community. That is, the goal for that is to have community around a specific purpose. And that is endeavoring and embarking on those lifestyle activities, come together around doing something. Hey, greetings, Dora. So that's starting a garden, engaging and striving towards creating, cultivating a personal movement practice for yourself, and peaceful consumption, food that loves you back, food that's not depositing a whole bunch of waste on your waistline, right? That is making a deposit into the 401k of your health, because you need this. You want to be pain-free, right? And it's a lot easier to cultivate health than to try to do repair work after you've done a lot of damage, if that makes sense. You're welcome, Candace. So check that out. And once you're in Flower Fit, so fill out the application. If I can't recognize someone, I'm known to, as a whole bunch of people backed up, and I will not open the gate to let anyone in that space if I can't identify the person with an avatar. So to date, only one person got in, and I didn't know how they got in. I prioritize feeling safe and comfortable for myself, women, young adults, and children, period, point blank. So fill out the application. So we know who you are, and you can put a name with a face and an email so I can identify you. This is the age of scamming at an all-time high, and a lot of times you don't know who you are communicating with or talking to. So Flower Fit, that's free. There's no charge. However, do come with an air of respect and reciprocity, right? In terms of, just wanting to be encouraging to others. Respect is the minimum and the maximum, right? And share what you're doing in your garden, with your fitness, and with your peaceful consumption. That's so simple. And the platform, I can monitor who's coming in and out. I can just track and trace who's there, and I can bump people out. So I have to be able to identify who I'm communicating with. There will be some holiday classes coming up. There are some mornings I've been sharing in this month of December, as Kwanzaa is approaching, or whatever holidays you celebrate. Usually around my birthday and certain key times of the year, I will open up classes. So I've been sharing some of the Harriet Squats 5 a.m. workout. I keep them up for a little while, and then they go to the Body-Culinary site, and they're made private. So that will be accessible to folks that have a membership on Body-Culinary. So I'm about to hop off here. So again, I'm using the aloe. I just smoothed it on my face. I still have a drop here, right? I'm going to put the rest of that on my hair. I got a nice bottle. So this doesn't have any preservatives in it. This is a recycled bottle. This is kept in the refrigerator, as are many of the kitchen garden concoctions and elixirs that we make, because there's no preservatives. So this means it does not have a shelf life of forever. That's something to be very mindful of. So if this was to turn color and to turn purple, that means, or it gets a smell, it means it's time to throw it out, right? Whatever you don't use, you just let it go to compost, right? So we're not being wasteful. We're using it in another way. So that's how you can moisturize your locks, your Freedom Locks, without oil. Again, this can be a wonderful alternative if you have fine hair. There's a lot of women now moving more towards freeform and semi-freeform. So I'm not twisting. Again, here's the one or two locks I'm letting grow together. This is week number 4. So I'm not doing anything. I'm just letting them join together. So I don't have a bobo shanti where I got like still pulse here and there. Got a little bit of order to it. It has a little bit of length now, so I can take it to the side if I want to part. Let me see the light in here. So if I want a little part, I can take it to the side and I can wet it. I don't have any dye in it. So it's freeing in terms of products. Your skin can breathe. This is great if you have acne. And if you just want to embrace your texture. And I invite you to consider what would happen? What could possibly happen if I embrace my texture? What can my hair do? Now, this may not be you. That even I've been natural for decades. When it came to this and not twistiness, that was a little bit, a little bit of anxiety there. Because I was like, I can appreciate still pulse, but I wasn't trying to look like still pulse. Right? And my hair is very fine. So I didn't know what would happen with all of these flat locks. But this is what I'm trying to tell you. It's actually been a blessing. People think it's full, but all of them are flat. So embracing the afro and what I've got is like a hidden blessing. Just like embracing your movement practice, embracing food that loves you back, embracing the garden. I'm telling you, it's the best kept secret. If you like this content, feel free to like, comment, respectfully, subscribe. You can find me on Kwasa, Peaceful Eating, Kwasa with a K, peaceful like full belly, on what do you call that thing? TikTok. And I post a little of the garden on Body-Culinary and here on YouTube, and a little bit on Facebook. So I've been sharing some of the workouts. 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can get nice and fit and let your body fall to a natural toned weight, in addition to being able to move in case of emergency and handle your business, all from your little space. So feel free to join me at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all create a great rest of the day on purpose. Reach out to me if you're interested in coaching, in healthy adipose tissue, weight loss. That's the only weight. Let me get it before I get out of here. The only weight we ever want to lose is water retention and adipose tissue. Period. We're not trying to lose muscle because it is very challenging to put on lean muscle mass. 5 pounds of muscle, it's challenging. You got to work your little hootie patootie to put that on, but it will dramatically shift your metabolism and the way you look and you feel in your clothes. See you soon.